I'm Adam Watson.
I'm Trinity Watson.
And this is the Darkslinger Mafia Power Hour.
Where it is not an hour.
I keep telling you, we went an hour on Generation X. We might on this one.
Yeah.
We're going to take a look at Masters of the Universe Masterverse, which is apparently alternate reality tale for He-Man.
Yeah. Back when comics were still $3.99.
How long ago was this made?
I'm not sure. Let's crack it open and take a look.
What is the date on that? 2023. It's not all that. I knew this was a more recent release.
Script by Tim Seeley. Art by Eddie Nunez in the first one. In the second one, the art is by Kelly Jones. And the third one is by Sergio Aragonés.
Yeah, so Eddie Nunez is actually the framing story, not just the first story. So it's like the first couple of pages and the last, because this is done in an anthology style, which shows off the He-Man multiverse, which I didn't know was a thing, but apparently it is.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually read any He-Man comics. If I did, it was when I was really little.
Yeah, I haven't read any up until now, too.
And the last He-Man show I watched was the cartoon that came out in early 2000s. 2002 maybe, something like that. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly which iteration this is based off of. If I had to take a guess, I'd say maybe the newer Netflix show, but I'm not positive on that. The only thing that makes me think that is because when He-Man turns into Prince Adam, he doesn't just look like He-Man with paler skin and darker hair. He actually looks like a kid in this. So I'm guessing this is a different version than what existed in the 80s cartoon. But I could be completely wrong about that, though, too, because I don't know that much about He-Man.
Right.
So in any case, opens up. It's got some pretty cheesy dialogue. Seems like it came right out of the 80s for this part.
Which is perfect, because it's a He-Man comic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he's clearly just beat Skeletor, and his minions just run off. Instead of some big epic, they literally just run off like they would in the 80s. Yeah. Which works for me. I like that.
Yeah, in this little panel, it's perfect.
So in this panel, he releases the power, which turns him back into Prince Adam. And I like the fact that the design isn't just He-Man, but different skin tone and different hair. I do really, really like that fact. Let's go ahead and flip the page. So my limited knowledge of He-Man characters, I kind of know who these characters are to a degree, but not really. Like, I know she's the goddess of Eternia. I've seen the action figure for that guy. I think I used to have the action figure for that guy when I was a kid. But I didn't know that he's some sort of cosmic order.
Something like that.
Something like that. He keeps the cosmic order. In any case, he's afraid that He-Man's not actually worthy of this power. And one of the interesting things is that it says something, right there. Prince Adam is a new kind of He-Man. Of that, there is no doubt. So that kind of implies that there's been multiple He-Men even in this reality, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of ridiculous to think of He-Man as a legacy character, that there's actually been several people with the ridiculous name of He-Man.
Yeah. Does this also mean that She-Ra would be a legacy character?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. That's scary.
She-Ra is not mentioned in this at all.
No.
I don't even know if she's in this world because her cartoon rights are with a different company, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because she got a different Netflix show some years back.
Oh, that was on Netflix too? Oh, well, maybe they can use the characters still together. I don't know. I just thought it was like Conan and Red Sonja, where the rights holders are the same, but they have them licensed to different companies. So they actually have to ask to do crossovers instead of just making them both appear in the same thing. So then we open up on the Kelly Jones page, which just instantly looks beautiful. And when I first saw this, I, once again, know very little about He-Man. But I was like, oh, that guy's Faker. That's not He-Man. That's the fake He-Man. Yeah. Because the skin's all purple and everything. But I think there actually is a reason for that. But it talks about the god watching over them, who's a four-armed statue there. And everything about that looks great. So do you know who Kelly Jones is already going in this?
Yes, but I don't know what he's worked on.
Do you know the most exaggerated Batman of the 90s? Which is saying a lot because Sam Keith's brilliant artwork graced Batman for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Kelly Jones did the artwork in Batman where the horns just kept growing foot by foot in every single issue.
Yeah, I know that one, yeah.
Yeah, so Kelly Jones has a very distinctive style. This was really easy to spot that's who that was. And it looks great, just as I would assume Kelly Jones would. So then we're introduced to... Do the minions of Skeletor actually have a name in this world?
They do. They're introduced because there's like
It states their names, but
yeah.
in the old He-Man cartoon, do they actually have a name? Like G.I. Joe's enemies are Cobra, or the Autobots enemies are Decepticons.
I'm not sure if they have like a team name.
Yeah, I'm not either. Somebody out there probably knows that though.
Mm-hmm.
In any case, we're introduced to them, and there's Skeletor sending them off, and it seems like these guys aren't just going to retreat when He-Man beats them up. They actually seem like they're out for blood. This world seems more dangerous and deadly than the one that it first came from, which Kelly Jones' artwork really helps to sell.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy, I know I had an action figure of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I first saw this, him putting the webbing on his head, that's so stylized that I thought that he was just barfing on him. It wasn't until I realized that he had webbing around his eyes that it's actually a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
And the fact that it talks about him being a spider helps with that too.
Mm-hmm.
But everything, this whole thing looks great. The only thing I think would make this look better is if they had done some sort of coloring in the gutters.
Yeah.
Yeah, leaving the gutters completely white is a missed opportunity on this, because you have this beautiful artwork of Kelly Jones that's really selling the horror theme of this particular He-Man story, doing some sort of coloring in the gutter area, whether it was black or like a dark purple, almost like how He-Man's colored in this one, or Prince Adam, I guess this is. I think that would have helped to sell the world just a little bit better.
Yeah.
But all in all, looks great.
Yeah. And we have Prince Adam battling with not using his sword.
He's hesitant to pull his sword.
Mm-hmm.
Which I couldn't figure out why that was exactly.
Yeah.
And then this guy who I'm not as familiar with, Batroc. I'm sure that he's actually one of the 1980s characters. I recognize the symbol on his chest. I thought that symbol, though, had something to do with She-Ra's enemies. Maybe it does. Maybe it's just not in this world.
I love how do you say his name?
Orko.
Mm-hmm. I had it completely wrong. I love how Orko is drawn in this. He's so cute.
Yeah, no matter what world he's in, apparently Orko is a little bit of an idiot. So that works.
Yeah.
Yeah, then this guy, Scareglow,
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea who that is. I don't remember an action figure of him or anything like that. I'm sure there was one that existed.
Yeah.
But I don't know who that is. You have any familiarity with that character?
I don't. The only familiarity I have with this universe is the She-Ra cartoon and then the
He-Man, She-Ra Christmas special.
Yeah, that we subject you to every year.
Yep. I bought that for you guys for Christmas when you and your brother were little more than toddlers, thinking, oh, I could share something from the 80s with you. Mm-hmm. Little did I know that to this day that would be a Christmas tradition in our house.
Mm-hmm.
But when He-Man unleashes the power, instead of by the power of Grayskull, it's by the horror of Grayskull. Yeah. Which tells you right away this is a very different world. I really like what Kelly Jones did with this. There are things left completely in black, but at the same time, there's like gradient coloring going on in the background. I'm sure that's also from the colorist. Yeah. But just everything about this particular panel works really, really well. And Orko tells so much emotion with just his eyes. Yeah. Manages to capture more emotion just in these panels with just the way he has the eyes tilted than a lot of artists do with whole facial features and expressions.
And then we have the coolest panels of the whole
time. We get the surprise that in this particular world, He-Man is a beast. Mm-hmm. He's some sort of monster from the great beyond. I have no idea what he is.
He's something that sucks up souls and gives it to Grayskull.
And so he sucks the soul out of what was his name? Scareglow?
Yeah, Scareglow.
Yeah, he sucks the soul out of Scareglow, which apparently powers Grayskull, if even for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then he relinquishes the power because he doesn't want to stay in this monstrous form. Which, my favorite part of this drawing isn't actually the way that he's taking life out of him, which is great. Looks fantastic. My favorite part is actually how freaked out Orko is.
Yeah.
Yeah, once again, manages to convey so much with so little there. It's just a couple of eyeballs, but looks great.
Yeah,
Body
he's so
language,
scary.
all that. Yeah, he's actually legitimately afraid of this version of He-Man.
Yeah.
In Grayskull itself, I don't think there's anything particularly different about the design, but the way it's colored
Yeah.
make it look so much cooler.
Yeah.
And one of the things really good about this is, I've never read a He-Man comic, but I didn't feel like I needed to going into this. So then it goes from horror straight to comedy. And who better to give some comedy than the creator of Gru, Sergio Aragonés. So in this world, He-Man is basically Gru.
Yeah.
He's a little bit dumb. He's kind of a peasant. He's a barbarian. And I guess Skeletor's the king in this world.
Something.
Yeah, whatever the case, I like this. It's very self-effacing.
Yeah.
Do you know what this guy's name is?
I have no idea.
Stratos, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe that's his name. He's listing off all the things that they can fight with. Unicorn, Charger, all these things. And what does he have? Feathers. He can fight with feathers.
Yeah.
But then we see He-Man over here is being stalked by Battle Cat. Great use of Battle Cat, who keeps imagining He-Man cooked as various types of foods.
It's great.
So Battle Cat, if you don't know, only exists because they needed to sell some action figures, something that already existed.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you already know that? That he's just a repainted, was it Big Jim? Big Jim, something like that?
I don't know the name of the original action figures, but I do know that
He-Man,
the cartoon, only exists to sell action figures.
Yes, but Battle Cat specifically was a bunch of leftover unpainted toys from a 60s line, 70s line, something like that. I think it's called Big Jim. I could be wrong about what it's called. But it was a part of a zoo set that didn't sell, and they took it and repainted it as Battle Cat.
Huh.
Yeah. So he inadvertently stumbles into the goddess's cave, who does look quite different in this world. Instead of being avian, she's snake in this one.
Yeah.
Battle Cat's chasing him. He goes in there, and this is apparently his destiny, where he'll become He-Man and not turn into a bacon He-Man like Battle Cat keeps imagining. Which is, by the way, great touch Aragonés put on it. That no matter what he is, hamburger, bacon, it all has He-Man's hair.
Yeah.
That's the one constant throughout the whole thing. This version of He-Man doesn't change whatsoever when he picks up the sword. He's literally the same guy. Just one has chest armor. Is that what you'd call that?
I think
chest
so.
armor? And the sword and the gauntlets. And the other one doesn't. It's all just different. So the goddess tells him that she'll be sending him weapons of war as he needs them, but can't relinquish them all to him all at once for some reason. And then it goes back to Skeletor and his minions attacking all of the Masters of the Universe, I guess is what you call those guys. I don't know if that's actually what they're called or not.
Yeah.
But He-Man comes along, needs more power to beat Skeletor. So the goddess starts giving him things, and Skeletor just keeps zacking it.
Sure, second.
Yeah, he even states on this panel, because he gets more machines, and somewhere in this, sigh, I'm gonna zack it. Yeah, so the goddess gives him everything. He just keeps destroying it. Every single one of these, I don't know if these appeared in the original cartoon or any of the other iterations of the cartoons. I know these were all toys, though.
Yeah.
So I love that the toys just keep getting destroyed over and over again by Skeletor. The one thing that she hasn't given him yet is snacks in some sort of video game system. So the snacks work perfectly because Battle Cat, he's full. He won't want to eat his master, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got a heart, loving He-Man with his hair still on the heart, which also works very, very well. And the whole thing is solved by him and Skeletor getting into a video game match. What do you think of the resolution of that?
I love it.
Yeah, that works for me very well.
Yeah.
And I like they even give up their weapons.
Yeah.
Because Skeletor's staff, Beastman is holding, and then Tila is handing over the Master Sword. I don't know. The Sword of Power?
Something, yeah.
I'm not sure what He-Man's sword is called. Sword of Power sounds right, though.
Mm-hmm.
And then, this is where we get back to the main story, and this is what I was talking about, that the same artist does the beginning and the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, she states that they stayed heroes no matter what, and that's a sign that Prince Adam is always going to be heroic. He said they haven't looked at nearly enough universes. So she gives a sample of the other universes, which I'm assuming are what make up the rest of this miniseries.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's kind of weird. Didn't we just read Masterverse?
I think so.
Maybe I should advertise in the second issue. I didn't actually look at the advertisements as I was going through this. I do appreciate that Dark Horse puts all of its advertisements at the very end, though.
Yeah.
Hellboy in Love. That sounds like a good one that we'll have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, overall, what'd you think about Masters of the Universe, Masterverse #1?
I love it. I love comics where it goes through, like, multiple different universes, and even, like, TV shows like Turtles Forever, where they, like, do kind of a similar thing, you know?
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't think that the multiverse is too played out at this point?
Only if it's Marvel.
I think it depends on how it's done still.
Yeah.
As I read a ton of Marvel comics when I was a kid, I'm very used to the whole idea of multiverses.
Right.
One of my favorite
like
storylines.
Being the front of it.
I could get that. One of my favorite storylines when I was a kid was Excalibur, the Cross-Time Caper.
Oh, yeah.
Where they go into a different multiverse all the time. I loved What If, simply because it was all these different multiverse stories. So this kind of thing is completely up my alley.
Yeah.
I can get where not everything needs to be the multiverse, though, and that is a large part of all of the new movies. And not just Marvel. There's a lot of things that are just simplistically multiverses all the time. But it can still be done well. In this, I think if you're going to do a multiverse story, this is the right way to do it.
I think so, too.
It's an anthology, different artists, same writer, though, gets set up, paid off, you know. Overall, I have no complaints about this. All right, you got anything else?
Nope.
Let's go make some comics. We didn't create the comics that were featured in today's episode, but we did create these. Check out Ghost Assassin in the Cards and the Chihuahua Who Flew Away mini comic, both of which were written by me. The Chihuahua Who Flew Away was illustrated
by me.